Well, hello and welcome back to Michelle Holden Art, where this is part 3 of the little mini-series videos that I've been making on how to use your handmade, unique collage papers with layers. And last week, I called it Play. And this week I'm going to call it more of an explore because I am, number one, timing myself and using less material. So that's why I'm calling it Less is More. So if you're new here, this is where we explore intuitive abstract art journaling, where you can discover your true voice one layer at a time. And so let's get the video started. I even shrunk down my amount of tools, which these are still quite a few, but this is a drawing one, fine line, a bamboo skewer, a color shaper, my brayer, which I will always use, well, mostly, and even the catalyst wedge, because when you go across your page, it can, in different ways and angles, it can really make a nice transparent layer or an opaque layer with texture. It depends what you want. I am using 140-pound watercolor Canson sketch pad. It is a 9x12 without the coils, so it gives me more freedom to turn it around if I choose to. Also, things got, well, just the edges got a little messy last week, so I decided to put 2 pieces of similar size newsprint underneath just to protect the future pages. I'm also just going to use one stenciling or stamping tool and a related to all of those art journaling, those collage papers we made in part 1. So if you haven't checked that out, I'll leave the card right here up in the upper right hand corner, and you can check that out and watch this mini series in sequence. So as we've been getting into a nice routine, I'll explain, sort of talk out loud my process, and stop talking, so there'll be a nice balance of explanation and quiet, because quiet and stillness is very, very important for your intuitive art journaling or abstract art journaling practice. So let's start. I'm going to start with my water-soluble graphite. I know I did that last week, but I've really been liking the blurry marks. Knowing after you do this for quite a while, you'll know that your early layers still show up, but in a different way and in very unexpected ways. Using the fluid black Liquitex. Oh, I forgot to show you my colors. My colors are, another dark is raw umber. The yellow is yellow oxide. And the blue is the turquoise. They're all Liquitex basics, plus black and white. Okay. So I wet it first just to enable the paint to go thin, thick. I'm not sure what kind of mark. I guess this is, we're exploring, we're playing, it's sort of the same. It's sort of the same, but isn't. When you're playing and with this intuitive art practice, it's all about play, building the layers. To me, that's sort of the exploration part where you can have fun playing with your marks directly on your substrate, whatever you're using, or you can experiment with them, and that's what I did when I first started out, and that's what I'll be showing you in my upcoming course, which will be a sort of a free offering. I'm in the middle of doing it now. And I know I've been talking about it, but you know what? These things take time, but it is coming to fruition. Okay, so now I'm going to use my left hand, and I'm just using the tip. So it is a bamboo skewer, so it's not going to do the same as a brush, but I'm liking the scratchiness of this mark. That little splash reminded me that I really don't do splashes at the beginning, so I'm going to try that. Okay. So I'll dry this first layer. So, as the title says, less is more. So I'm thinking, okay, does that mean less layering? I don't know. Maybe just less materials. We'll see how it goes. Okay. You'll notice each week, which is why I am creating courses now, because on my YouTube channel it was sort of like, okay, what do I feel like doing this week? And they weren't really in a sequence. So you're going to really get to benefit from my courses as they are ready. And I have lots planned for the future. So I'm not going to add white or anything. I'm just going to go for it. This first layer anyway. Spraying just a little bit to thin that out. Okay. And the brayer is a good tool for lifting, though it's subtle. And also, it's coming in with a very loose brush, just to soften those edges. So there's some hard edge, there's soft edge, and everything I do, I try to make it the opposite or a difference in some way. Not everything, but most things. Too soon for that. I don't know if this is too busy, so I'm going to put it to the side. notice I didn't use any tape this week. I think it's evolving and changing because almost every week lately, I'm forgetting to put the tape, and maybe that's a sign like, okay, maybe I just don't need it anymore. At least in this particular exploratory session. So veiling really pushes things back. It just veils them with your transparent layers. I think I'll do most of these. So I want to come in again with another layer. So this is Titan Buff, a neutral. There's many different kinds, so just use whatever you have. What is that one? Titanium, but not white. This one's called, Unbleached Titanium, Titan Buff, and different companies call their paints different names, of course, but whatever neutral you have. Okay, I want it to go a lot lighter. I want it to be in between here. So I noticed a puddling effect, so that's what gave me the idea to add more. It is watercolor paper, so it can stand some. Okay, nice. So I'm going to dry that. It might take a few minutes. Okay, so also in the title of this video, Less is More, I'm also thinking about less marks, more quiet space. So less marks, more space, less tools, more simplicity or focus on using the tools in different ways. So far I've used the color shaper, the brayer. I've not used my little brush, but I don't think I need to because I chose to use this skewer instead. So I'm going to leave that. I wanted I love drawing. I'm going to keep exploring the types of marks that I make in a less controlled manner. In certain areas that I know I'm going to put a really transparent piece of collage, like this one, And of course, without that toothed edge of the deli paper. And I always like to crop any circles or this one. Oh, I think for some reason, okay, so let's see that again. Oh, going slightly taller, just, I don't know, it does a different energy compared to that. I'm sort of liking this shape that's possible, so I'm going to leave that. And I'm going to use my soft gel semi-gloss, which gives me a hard time opening. Oh, I might have to bang it on the edge, so bear with me. There we go. Sorry. Okay. Oh. I did say I wanted a time limit, so I'm noticing, I'm just slightly keeping an eye. This way, it's forcing me to do more, think less. That's what we want. And I love how it melts away. And this is a really nice weight of a medium for the deli paper versus the thicker. I find I get less bubbles, mostly. Ripples still, but that's okay. That was a reaction. Don't know why. I'm going to lift it a bit. Very high contrast right there, right in the middle. So that's probably not going to work so well. So you can just do this. Nice. Much better. So the eye isn't staying there. Now it's moving around. Okay. I was going to use, I think I'm going to anyway, use that raw umber as the dark. Maybe even mix a little black with it. That's what I'm doing up here in the corner. I should move my palette over so you can see better. Corrugated cardboard. On a slight angle. Cool. I would have loved to do that and then put the marks over top again. So we might do that. It's very bright, but I'm going to use it anyway. And then I'm going to keep the numbers there, upside down. And I'm going to push it back because I think it will be interesting. It's very transparent anyway. Let's see what happens. I'm also trying to do things that I would not normally do. Oops. Okay, cool. Okay. Thinking of balance here. But of course I don't want to think, right? Maybe I'm feeling it. I think that's closer to the truth. Okay. I don't want to go any further with all of this. I'm going to maybe just add I was just thinking of something more solid here. Darker, less scribbly. Now it needs some balance. notice that's a very thin layer. I wanted some of these coming more forward, pushing these back more, but not too many. So you can just sort of soften that edge. Okay, that is good. That will do for now. And as I finish up this page, which was all about less is more, you can see how I'm just tweaking and doing a few things, but I don't like to overdo that part. I like to stick to it. That was a 30-minute timed session, and I'm just doing that to enable me to not think and react and be present to what is there. So I hope you enjoyed my intuitive abstract art journaling video of this week, part 3, and stay tuned for next week. And don't forget to like and subscribe and join my email list, as I will have that course, the free offer, coming up. I'm tweaking my PDF, which is the self-reflection page, which is very important to this type of art process. And have a great week creating, and I will see you in the next video.